Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In the last video I announced that the demo for my game Arcade Wizard is now live on my website. And yeah, if you haven't played the demo yet, then I would suggest that you play the demo first. I will put a link in the description. But if you have played it and are wondering what I will do with all the feedback, then please continue to watch. So the first thing that I want to go through is the analytics that I implemented into the game. So there's a couple of nice things that I think I can see in the analytics. First of all, here you can see the amount of players per day. You can see that when I announced the demo, there were a lot more users than in the days afterwards, but there's still a decent amount of users every day. All in all, if you can see, it's in total over 100 users that played the game. So right here you can see I set up a funnel, and the funnel name is the main campaign, and what I did was I tracked the amount of users that finished each level. So starting out, the 100% is the user base that finished the first level, and then you can see 72% of those users finished the level after that, 60% of the users finished the level after that, and so on. So you can see that about 20% finished the entire game. I think it's pretty nice that such a big number still finished the entire game. But what I want to do is aim to improve this number over time. But what I want to do now is look at the feedback you guys gave me and figure out ways to improve these numbers. So if we go over here, you can see the YouTube comments. You guys have been posting a bunch of useful stuff in the comments, and I think there's a bunch of great ideas in this. I will not be going over all of these in this video because it would take up quite a bit of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather all the useful information off screen, make up a list that I think is really necessary for finishing the game, and I will put them in the Trello board and yeah, come back to you guys. Okay, so I put all the feedback into the Trello board. Right here you can see the beta test results, and you can see that I already did some of the tasks that I put in because I already did some development during the week that the game was tested, and I just did some development today already before I started recording again. So I picked up the easiest things first, and I can go through them in a second. But first I want to explain how I'm going to fix everything on this list. So right now I'm aiming to release the game in June. This is pretty close to now, so I don't have that much time to fix things anymore. So what I did was I ordered this list based on priority. Some of the ideas were really cool, like the more projectile enemies, maybe an enemy that does big leaps and that you have to take into account that it will jump at you to your position at any moment, so you have to dodge it and stuff like that. I think those ideas are great, but they will probably not be doable before the deadline of the game. So what will happen is the things that are must-haves will probably be done because I placed them on the top, and other stuff will just move to the patch 2.0. But for now I want to go through the things that I already fixed. So if we look at the list, there's a couple of things. First of all, I increased the time the fire boss stands in the middle of the stage. First, the fire boss would just stand in the middle of the stage for a little bit and then move on quite quickly. So I increased that time. This gives the player some time to dodge the fireballs that are shot by the boss and then still hit him. Another thing that I fixed was the cursor disappear range. So the cursor will now disappear only if it's exactly beneath the wizard. And another point I did for balancing reasons was increase the invincibility time. So the player already had 400 milliseconds of invincibility after getting hit, but I upped that to 600 milliseconds. You won't get killed as quickly if you land in the middle of a bunch of mobs, so I think it's a little bit more fair. I also did some improvements to the skin select. I no longer have an option to go back to the main menu in the top left. This would confuse some of the players that they would click at the left top corner thinking they would go back to the level select, and instead they would go back to the main menu. I changed that up so it's a little bit more simple. You can just go back to the level select now. Besides that, I added some more skins. You can see I have a bunch unlocked right here. And I added these little arrows so you can switch pages for the skins. So right now there's 12 skins in the game and you can go to them with this navigation. I added a unique animation for most of these characters. So let's say right here, if we grab Baba Yaga, you can see she floats around a little bit like some kind of witch instead of just running around. I think this gives these characters a little bit of more character. And yeah, I think it makes it more exciting to unlock them. Another thing I did was some of you requested a female character, so I added some female skins. Well, Baba Yaga is a female, of course, but I also added a witch on a broom, and I really like the way this turns out. I think if I had known it would look this nice, I would probably have given the main character a broom from the start. But yeah, I really like the diversity in the characters this brings. One more change I did was to the arcade upgrades. In the current state of the demo, the arcade upgrades would all just cost 1 arcade coin, even if you are up in higher levels. So this was a little bit imbalanced, because when you have unlocked all the orbs and all the skins, you only get to unlock arcade coins at that point. So finishing a level just gives you 1 arcade coin. This means the player gets tons of arcade coins in the end game, and this would make the upgrades really easy to get. So to balance this out, I made the upgrades scale up in cost. I will still do some changes to the way these upgrades work, like I still am going to introduce a 4th arcade upgrade because this just looks weird. And I'm also going to improve the critical hit chance a little bit. Anyway, that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, then please leave a like. And if you want to stay updated on the progress of Arcade Wizard, then please subscribe to the channel. For now, I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next week.